Thank you, Danny. And yeah, I'm sure you've seen Abdi is playing just behind me as well. So I'm Mike, co-founder and CEO of Sensepilot. We are a startup. We're actually a family startup, so pretty small team. We started on the project about a year ago. The rest of the team is my brother-in-law, my wife, and their cousin. So very much a family venture. So what we do, you've probably come across some facial recognition technology through things like Snapchat. So where you can, stick your tongue out and you get some nice bunny ears. You can see what you look like as Wolverine, and then you can also see what it would look like if I could actually grow some facial hair. So I think we can probably agree that I shouldn't. So for us, what we do is we use the webcam built into a device. So we're mapping out the face, its orientation, translating that into cursor control. So we take the the facial gestures, so smiling, blinking, raising your eyebrows. We pick up very small muscle movements. You stuck, Abdi. So we use the head tracking movements to control the cursor. So it's for PC control, works alongside AAC apps, and right now we're building for Windows operating systems. So we're using facial recognition, AI, everything's AI powered these days, but we're a little bit different where everything we do is local on the device, so you don't need to be connected to the internet. So you can use it offline, so you don't have to rely on a mobile 5G connection if you're using an AAC app and you're out and about or in a congested area. The main thing for us is there's no data transfer, so we're not taking any of the visual cues and bringing that back and retraining the model. That was just data I didn't want to be touching. And then what it also does is it reduces lag, allows for a very quick response. So we have a 0.1 second response time. And because it's also local on device, it tends to have a lower CPU usage. So there's a particular irony as I use ChatGPT to draft up that image. So just a little look at our interface. So you can pick out from 22 different facial gestures and select those to all of the different clicking actions. So left click, right click, as well as scrolling actions, so you can preset those to different ways of controlling the computer. We have a couple of different clicking methods we can dive into. So you can also use a switch as well, so on the section where it says keyboard actions, and then you can also personalize to the size of the gesture, so you can preset how much you want to open your mouth, how much you want to raise your eyebrows. So it kind of depends on every individual. And the considerations and the different mechanics of the face. So you don't want to have too many things interacting with each other. And what you can also do is map out to keyboard controls. So that's what really enables gaming. So you can map out raising your eyebrows to pressing W. So that's what Abdi's doing now. So he's got the control set to blinking his right eye to accelerate the car. I think he has that on a toggle setting. So he blinks his eye once, the car automatically accelerates, and then he blinks again. So you can play pretty much any game. So he's demoing here. We can play Minecraft, first-person shooters, and all sorts of other things. I'll have this available to try out later if you can convince Abdi to stop playing. So as I was saying, it'll work alongside AAC apps. So this is just an example of using, this is from Forbes AAC, so this is called Cough Drop. So you're able to type out the messages. Here I'm selecting by, I've got puckering mouth, so kissing motion to select what I want to click on. And then for learning the initial pathways of how to use head tracking and gaining those controls, you have the AAC cause and effect. So this one is from Smartbox, so it works alongside any freestanding AAC apps on Windows. So I'm using their inbuilt dwell click to control, and you can use the inbuilt dwell clicking as well to operate the computer. So this is part of like learning how to do head tracking. So when you move your head towards certain buttons, it creates something happen. So you know, give the dog some sausages or tell him to sleep and he'll begin sleeping. So learning about the basics of computer control. And then, so this is just showing our kind of a few different use cases of playing a couple of different games. You've got some of Abdi driving here, and then playing Fall Guys, and I kind of think it switches to Minecraft after this. It'll loop back around to the start where you'll see all the different facial recognition being picked up. So we have a live feed showing kind of what's being selected at any time. So we have this overlay that you can turn on or off, just showing you what you're doing and what you've got mapped, and just to remind you of some of the controls. We are in the process of kind of changing that a little bit, just to have kind of custom names. So if you don't remember what left click is, you can kind of change the name of that as well. I'll just start that again quickly. Yeah, so this screen shows you, as I'm moving my face around, you can see all the sliders reacting. We actually launched just a couple of weeks ago, so still very new as a company and software. Right now we're building dwell clicking, so to hover over something and automatically select. The next step is doing custom and additional facial gestures. So what I mean by custom is if you have facial movements that don't meet the kind of selected criteria of blink, raising eyebrows, etc. So if you have small movements in a certain area, we can capture that image and translate that into, when I move this part of my cheek, for example, that means that I want to left click. And then we'll have like an auto calibration as well. But then the next step of plans is voice and sound control for the computer. So voice and speech recognition, that's been done before, so that's not really anything that new, but it's just having it all inbuilt into one software to reduce the strain on the computer, so you have lots of different options within one system. And then also we've got an early prototype now of sound control, so for people who can't form words but can make repetitive sounds. Our prototype, you kind of have to make the sound 5 to 10 times and then map it to a clicking action or keyboard action. So you're able to kind of make that sound, and it gives it a confidence that it's heard that sound, and you're able to do everything with a 0.1 second response time. So hopefully you'll be turning that on fairly soon, just a bit more testing to do. And then the next step is to look to see how we can do eye tracking. So right now we map the eye's major directions, so up, down, left, right, but trying to see if we can turn that into how you would traditionally see an eye gaze device being used into that level of accuracy. So our aim really is to try and build as much as we can just using whatever you have on your device. Most people have webcams on their devices now. You can use the one, as Abdi is, inbuilt in the camera, or you can use an external one like you have here. So you have the option to swap between them. I think Abdi wanted to say a little bit now.
When I was younger, I used to sit and watch my brothers play on the PS2 for hours. Honestly, I loved every second of it. The sounds, the colours, the excitement, it was like a whole different world, and I wanted to be part of it so badly. But watching was one thing, playing, that was a whole different story. Every time I tried to pick up the controller and play, I gave it my best. I really did. But no matter how hard I tried, I just couldn't play like my brothers. They made it look so easy, racing, shooting, scoring goals, doing all these cool tricks, and I'd be sitting there, struggling just to get past the menu screen. And it really got to me. I hated that I couldn't play my favourite games on my own. I hated having to wait for someone to help me. Or worse, just having to watch while everyone else had fun. It's frustrating when you love something, but feel like you can't truly be part of it. That feeling of being left out. It's something a lot of disabled people know all too well. You're present, but you're not really in it. You want to be independent. You want to just do what everyone else does. No special treatment, no favours. Just be able to enjoy life like anyone else. That's why Sensepilot means so much to me. When I first tried Sensepilot, it was like a switch turned on in my life. For the first time, I could play independently, me, on my own terms. No one guiding my hand, no one taking over, just me, the game, and freedom. I'll never forget the first time I played one of my favourite games with Sensepilot, properly played. I wasn't sitting there watching or getting someone to press buttons for me. I was in control, and it felt incredible. I don't even care that I lost the match. I was just buzzing that I played it. See, for someone like me, independence isn't just about big things like jobs or travelling. It's the little things too. Things like playing a game, changing a setting, pausing when I want, choosing my character. Those little things build confidence, they build joy, they build identity. Sensepilot doesn't just give me access, it gives me power. It makes me feel equal, like I belong in the game, just like anyone else. And that's massive. We talk a lot about inclusion these days, in schools, in work, in transport. But what about fun? What about play? Disabled people deserve joy too. We deserve to play, to compete, to explore, to laugh when we mess up and celebrate when we win. Sensepilot gives me that joy. It reminds me that my disability might shape the way I do things, but it doesn't have to stop me from doing them. I'm not saying every game is easy now. Some still challenge me, and that's the point. I want the challenge. I just want the chance to take it on my own, and now I have that. So to anyone who's ever felt like they're sitting on the sidelines because of their disability, I see you. I've been there, and I want you to know things are changing. Technology is catching up to us, and tools like Sensepilot are opening doors that were shut for too long. To the team behind Sensepilot, thank you. Not just for the tech, but for understanding what independence really means to someone like me. And to everyone else, remember, disability doesn't mean inability. Sometimes all it takes is the right support, the right mindset, or the right tool, and we can do anything. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a game to win.
So yeah, thank you very much, Abdi. We will have this laptop on the booth, but you may have to convince Abdi to move aside. So yeah, just wanted to say thank you for your time, for listening, and massive thank you again to Abdi. So yeah, you can visit our website, find out a bit more. We have a free trial available for Windows devices, so you can download it yourself and yeah, have a try. We've got a couple of devices there as well, so looking forward to everyone trying it.